Today we're going to be doing my post-commentary playthrough of Crusader Kings Charlemagne. Now, I'm going to be playing as a Viking, not as Charlemagne himself. I have a unhealthy obsession with Vikings, and, well, that's the truth. I have an unhealthy obsession with Vikings. So, we're going to be playing right now as Ragnar Lothbrok's father, and we're going to try to build up a powerful Sweden and get ready for an invasion of Britain. We're going to take them all down to Chinatown, and I promise I will never say that again within 20 minutes. Now, for my ambition, I'm picking Become King of Sweden. Not much change there from classic Crusader Kings 2. Now, tribal organization, I picked low. Now, this is interesting. There's some changes here. You can build zeal, which will increase your piety, and it will also attract people, soldiers. You can build your legend, which will attract soldiers, or organize a raid, which will again attract soldiers. So instead of a traditional feudal system where you're trying to, um, build up your vassals, you're really trying to build your piety and your prestige in order to get soldiers. And there's a few features elsewhere in the game. So I'm just kind of looking around. Yep, steal stuff from Constantinople. Now, right now there's still Lombard kings, and you can get a sense of it's a very similar map, but there's some important differences. It's only 100 years prior to the Viking Age. You'll see Amalfi is a Byzantine holding still. It's kind of interesting. That kind of interested me. Yeah, they're all split up. Those guys may have picked land. Northumbria. Look at those British. They have no idea what is stirring across the sea from them. If you're hearing that beeping, that's a squirrel outside my window. He does that. I don't know why. I'm just kind of looking around at these islands. It's kind of interesting. They're holdings of Scotland instead. And, one thing you can see, if I click on something, let's see if I click on something, is that religion is now Germanic instead of Norse. So I'm going to start my conquest of Sweden, and instead of your vassals giving you soldiers, you can call them in as allies, which is pretty cool. It's not cool that you have all those pop-ups. Frankly, that's an enormous negative for me. I wish it was just like on the side or something. Isn't it interesting how when we're given a choice of what kind of person we're going to be in the game, we always choose temperate, but in life, I choose gluttonous. Kind of interesting, a little bit meta. So you have a lot of soldiers, really, compared to if you had vassalage, but they're not all guaranteed to show up, which is it's a challenge. That's kind of a challenge. Now, taking a concubine just because now there's Ragnar Lothbrok. Let's see if I have any good women for him to be betrothed to. No, I don't. So he's Ragnar Sigurdsson. Just looking over everything. Look at these new options. Raise tribal army. You can spend prestige to get a 2,500 unit plop down, which is pretty cool. You can send people into hiding to reduce assassination chance. So this is pretty standard warfare here. Nothing too exciting. One new feature of this game, this expansion, is the changing of the weather. which is pretty cool. Just killing things, killing them here, killing them there, killing them everywhere. A new daughter. Let's see. Who do I marry her to? I think I marry her to the Saxon guy. Yeah. The Saxons are kind of cool to me. I don't know why, but I kind of just want to, you know, get next to them politically. Just how I am. I guess it's that they're a larger faction, you know, of the Germanic peoples. So that's rather interesting. Now I think this is where I make an incredibly bad decision. Oh, the Weimar Republic. I think I said that when I was playing it. It's kind of funny that Weimar is independent. Briefly, they're at war with Saxony, meaning the Saxons are going to annex them. I thought it was interesting that all these areas we think of Germany as Germany are all Slavic still, which is kind of an interesting thing, you know? And here I'm going to conquer them because they are the poops. Why are they the poops? Because they will not join you no matter what, which is obnoxious. Yeah, here I am looking over the different wife options. I would like to have someone who with Germanic religion. The negative 100 prestige really sets me back because at this point, as you can see, I only have 146 prestige, which is a larger penalty than I would like to pay. So at this time, I just remain single with a concubine, which I guess is not really single. I guess it's, you know, I will endure. Kind of weird that you can't marry your concubine. Well, I guess that would be a larger negative. Now, these guys are obnoxious because they annexed this territory before I can get to it, which is pretty obnoxious. So, hmm. So one thing that kind of annoys me is you have to send all your troops back, and of course they go back instantly. You don't have to wait for them to travel back to their home areas, and then you have to attack. No technologies available really. Oh, town infrastructure. Or do I pick castle infrastructure? I don't remember. Let's see. Town infrastructure. Because, you know, roads. My libertarian watchers will understand the reference. Roads. The liberals and the conservatives will. Well, the liberals will be offended by that, and the conservatives will nod their head but not really understand what I'm talking about. So let's see if I can just unjustly annex these people for no real reason, because I'm all about the the peacefulness. Of course I do, because they're pretty weak right now. I'm always curious how much of this game is speculation and how much of it is actual fact. Right now, So Ragnar Lothbrok is actually a legendary figure. They think there was someone or maybe a group of people who had some of his deeds, but that's not a real, it's not a well documented human being. His sons were well documented. Of course, they might not even be real brothers. They could have been blood brothers. It's rather interesting. You can look that up on Wikipedia. Um, so it's a fairly interesting idea. And oh, is this where I? Oh, the Saxons are having some trouble there. And do I do it? Am I going to try to annex poor little Denmark? Yes, and we are now at war with Denmark. We're going to kick their butts from here to Tripoli. And I think I find a new wife at this point. Let's see. Can I afford the minus 100? Master Theologian, that's pretty good. Yeah, I just do it. Yeah, at this point I can afford the minus 100 prestige. Assembling the stack of death. It's not the most interesting game mechanic. Just stack all your soldiers and hope for the best. Yeah. It's interesting how a battlefield injury can actually be have political ramifications, isn't it? It's not that interesting. Well, I find it kind of interesting. You know, Today we're so far away from that kind of thinking, that way of that the leader must be with his troops. He must, and as you can see, they have a lot more soldiers than I do. I mean, they're not even trying to fight me. And oh, there's a very large independence faction, which you can't negotiate with the independence faction. It's kind of bad. Did I just pick cavalry? I think I picked heavy infantry. One thing I don't like about this game is all these pop-ups. I wish they were just kind of, how does a prisoner stop the game and make you choose their fate? I'm just going to ransom them. Just going to ransom them. And I'm looking at my vassals right now, trying to squeeze some out, some blood out of a rock. I need more troops, and there's unders to be had. Here I'm educating young Ragnar. And I guess I just end up educating him myself. Ragnar! Yeah. In case you can't tell, this battle does not end well for me. I give out some honorary titles. Pause this. Oh my god. And that concludes part 1 of my playthrough of Crusader Kings 2 Charlemagne. Join me back when I upload my next part and we continue our war against the hated Danish.